Hey there, it's John from Tiny, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through TinyMCE's workflow and collaboration starter config. The starter config is built specifically for any workflow, project management, or business process rich text editing project. You can use it if you're looking to build rich text editing into your software from scratch, or looking to add rich text editing capabilities to any of those projects. We've also put together tons of other starter configs for other use cases. To see them, just head over to our website, click on the Solutions tab, and choose any one of them. Okay, let's get into it. So the starter config is modeled off of a project management software's ticket screen. There's actually two editors in the starter config. The first one is a description of the ticket, and the second one is a commenting box. Since your users may be opening a ticket just to read it, we've hidden the editor controls by default, but they can be opened by clicking on the text itself. Let's take a look at the first editor. To keep it nice and simple, we've included custom skins and icons using the naked skin with thin icons. This keeps the editor nice and compact without intruding on the other UI elements within the project management tool. If you're familiar with TinyMCE, you'll also note that we removed the menu bar at the top and the status bar at the bottom to keep that minimal experience. And we've also included auto resize so that the editor can grow and shrink with its contents. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the basic formatting controls that we've included in this starter config. They're all accessible through the toolbar at the top. So we've defined some very basic styles to keep the content clean and crisp. We've got the usual bold, italic, font color, highlight, list types, adding links, emojis, and even tables. To help your users express themselves a bit more when they're creating content, we've included a couple of creativity tools as well. This includes enhanced media embed, which can be used to embed content like videos or social media posts right into the editor. So for example, I have a YouTube video URL right here. I can paste it right in there and a video will be loaded right into the editor. Super helpful for your users to quickly embed things in the post without having to spend a lot of time on it. We've also included code snippets, which is really helpful if you work in maybe a software company where your users will want to discuss code or software components within your project management workflow or collaboration tool. It's super simple. All I have to do is open the code snippet dialog, put in some code, save it, and it's embedded right in the post for their discussion. And lastly, we've included some compliance tools to help speed up collaboration by reducing errors when your users input content into the editor. The first one is called Power Paste. Power Paste lets your users copy and paste from apps like Google Docs, Microsoft Word, or Excel while retaining the formatting. I'll show you how it works. So here's a fairly complex Word document with formatting, tables, and images. I'm going to copy everything in the document, go back over to TinyMCE, and paste it in there. It's going to ask me if I want to remove the formatting or keep the formatting. In this case, I will keep it. And you can see how all the content is preserved just as it was in Microsoft Word. Now, if you're a developer, you probably know about all the extra tags and styles that get copied over from tools like Microsoft Word when your users copy and paste into your app. They can bloat your database, make the underlying HTML break, and just add a lot of unnecessary code when it doesn't need to be there. Power Paste takes out all of the unnecessary HTML elements and code to make sure that what gets pasted into the editor is clean, crisp, and compliant, so that when you go to render this content, it doesn't break. Now, if you have remote teams or people working in different parts of the world, there's often a chance of spelling errors coming up. And what that can do is it can slow down progress when you're working across teams in different time zones. So by adding TinyMCE's Spell Checker Pro to your workflow or collaboration project, you're going to be able to speed up collaboration and reduce communication errors. Spell Checker Pro automatically highlights issues as you type and offers suggestions in real time. In addition to being available in many languages and being able to spell check multiple languages at once, you can add your own custom dictionary words to Spell Checker Pro in case your company or your users have any specific terminology that's not covered in traditional dictionaries. Another time saver is link checker. So let's say I try to link this text and I send it to a broken URL. First of all, it's going to alert me when I'm adding it. And even if I do add it, it's going to highlight the text showing that it's a broken URL. Again, huge time saver, especially if your users are working across time zones. Okay, that's the main editor. Now let's take a look at the second editor for adding a comment. It's got the same behavior. When you click on it, it opens up the editor. Then the user can type whatever they want, and it'll even resize with their content, just like the previous editor. You'll also notice that the toolbar's at the bottom, and it's got a lot less toolbar buttons. And one thing I will note is in the starter config, we've included these save and cancel buttons, but we haven't programmed their functionality into the config. So you can take them and build on them to make the editor work within your app. Okay, now that we've taken a look at the demo, let's take a look at the code behind it. The starter config is available in two formats. The first one without code tips, and the second one with code tips. If you're new to TinyMCE, we recommend the with code tips version because it contains comments and links to help articles that'll help you learn what the starter config is doing so that you learn how to configure TinyMCE. Okay, so I've got two windows open here, the code for the starter config on the left and the demo on the right. Let's walk through the code. Now, since we have two editors in our app, we can use what's called a common config. That's what you see here. So we've started off by including some plugins that we know will be used in both editors, hiding the menu bar, using those custom skins and icons, setting inline mode to true, keeping the toolbar visible when the editor loses focus, and disabling object resizing because we chose to use percentage widths within our editor. We're also changing the toolbar mode on mobile so it floats, but only on mobile. That's why we have this mobile option here. And lastly, for both editors, we're making sure the spell checker works in English and that it's active. Okay, so now we get into the config specifically for the first description editor. So we initialize it and specify the HTML element that we're applying TinyMCE to. Specify all the toolbar options, put the toolbar in a special fixed toolbar container, and give it a placeholder in case it's empty. And then the next bit of code is the functionality that makes the editor come alive and active when we click on it. Lastly, we're going to load all of those options from the comment configuration. Okay, onto the second comments field. We initialize it, specify the HTML element, toolbar, placeholder, again, apply a fixed toolbar container, and then apply that same behavior for the controls to appear when we click on it. And then again, load the common config. Here we've just got some JavaScript to mimic what the save button might do when you click on it, and then a bunch of styles in HTML to style and display the editors. So that's it. To get the starter config, head over to tiny.cloud, click on Solutions, then Workflow and Collaboration. Scroll down and the config's right there. And of course, if you don't have an API key yet, head over to our pricing page to get access to a 14-day free trial containing all of the premium features we just looked at. If you're looking for more content on rich text editing in workflow, collaboration, or project management tools, head over to our blog or check out our YouTube channel for more content. Good luck.